it's hot. Corn is not doing so great on this particular farm. I'm going to show you what some stressed out drought corn looks like. It was interesting the other day, or yesterday, we had 2¼ inches, about 10 kilometers at one of our other farms. Another farm only got 1/10.5, and then most of our other farms didn't get hardly a drop. So let's check some of this out. Look at that. That's woo baby. Yeah, see, it's just burning up. We need a rain. It is unhappy, but this is what we have to deal with here. Farming can be extremely stressful. This is a stressful moment for myself and for my family. You don't like to see this, but we do have good looking corn in certain areas. Like I said, my farm that just got 2¼ inches, sorry, yesterday, you know, that corn is looking good. Let's we'll get to a different spot here. Yeah, here we are. That's can you see all that bad coloring? I'm not too sure. Interesting. So this area here has been worked, so it's a little bit more stress damage than what I was just showing you. What I showed you over there, it wasn't as stressed out, but still stressed. Oh yeah, that's not good. Hey, we'll go see if we can find some good looking corn. I'll show you what some of our good fields look like, but man, this is unfortunate. Like just crispy. That's not what you want to see. Definitely not what you want to see. Oh, then we got this stuff right here. We're on the same 100 acres, just a little bit different soil type. It's not as stressed. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. We'll go check out another field, or I guess same 100 acres. But yeah, no, we're good. That's nice to see in this spot. But realistically, like I said, we need a rain. Here's our beans. They're actually looking really good. They're just starting to flower. Yeah, no, they're handling the heat actually really, really well. Quite surprisingly. How are the birds doing with the heat? Actually, really well. In the barns, we have lots of ventilation, lots of fans. It's not air conditioned, but there's lots of air flow through there. It's nice to be in there. You can just feel air movement. It's not stagnant. So the birds are doing really well. Still laying 96 to 98%. So we're happy on that end. So as long as we have enough food to feed them. So same 100 acres yet again. This is clay, so it held the moisture a little bit better. It's not as tall as the other stuff I was showing you, but this is planted a lot later than it. Still looking good. Yeah, so unfortunately, that burnt corn, it's way up there right by the road. That's what everybody sees. It's stressed out. Everybody's going, oh, look at that cornfield. I wouldn't want that, but that's mine. We need rain. But back here, I'm happy with this corn. It's looking really good. It's looking really good. So we'll carry on. Like I said, we keep plugging away. Yeah, it's just burning right up. Yeah, like I said, I'm stressed. What can I say? Deal with Mother Nature though. Saturday morning, the earlier video that was 2 days earlier, Thursday, we got rain. Thank you, Mother Nature. Oh, there we are. Sorry. You can see they're not puckered up anymore. They're much happier than they were. Got that rain. Look down this row. As you can see, there's no water laid in this field. It just took it like a champ. But I mean, like the leaf like that, the damage has been done. The corn is hurt, but we'll still get a crop. It's just not going to be as pretty as it was. Yeah, you can definitely see the unfortunate burnt. Yeah. Anyways, it'll be okay. The stuff that didn't get burnt is going to be phenomenal, and this stuff will probably still yield not too bad. So I do want to stress that right there is my change room, and these are brand new clothes. That's why I don't have coveralls in here. Plus, it's just too hot in there for me to put coveralls on. I'll be sweating way too much. So this is this is, in our opinion, the best way we can control disease is just brand new clothes right out of the dryer, washing machine. Fresh shoes though. Shoes always stay in here. We just want to let everybody know. Okay, so we're gonna start in the chick barn. So what we do is we come, so it's 76.9 degrees in there right now, which is very comfortable. They've grown quite a bit. I'll show you them. So compared to when you see in the other video, it has to be that warm for like a day and a half, 2 days max, and then you start bringing that temperature down, and we'll keep it. We kept around 90 for the first week, and then now 76 ish. That's a good temperature for them now. They got lots of, they're still big and they're still together, so they share body heat. And you got, see, it's interesting because you can't thin them out too much, because then they'll get too cold, and you can't put too many birds together because then they get too hot and they trample each other. So it's, you got to be careful about how many birds you have in the house. Now mind you, we're only allowed so many birds per house, so that's an actual industry standard, but at this point we do have to be careful. You can, because they're so small, we're allowed to keep them together more, and you have to, because they need to share body heat. If they get too cold, they won't perform properly, and if they get too hot, they won't perform properly. That's why we have ventilation, trying to keep a constant temperature in there. Anyway, so come in here, check the temp. We did a high and low. Go over here. That's a water meter. I just write those numbers down. I do the math, figure out how many liters of water they drank in a day, or gallons depending on the barn. This barn we do liters. Anyways, they drank about 1,500 liters yesterday, which that's a lot of liters, so you got to make sure you have a good water supply, which we do. Anyways, we'll get into the barn. I will show you how big they've gotten so far. It's pretty crazy. Look at her. She got big in a couple weeks, eh? That's just how fast they grow. She's very calm, good bird. Hey, little fella. Or I guess little girl, sorry. So we come in here, make sure that there's lots of feed in the trough. Those run by themselves. They run about 4 to 6 times a day, depending on how old they are. Right now, just 4 times a day. If you run them any more than that, feed spills out. But they are right full. We need to make sure they eat lots of feed, because that's how they grow. So we never, those troughs are never ever empty. There's always feed in them. So back here is just one of our fans. We use a tunnel ventilation system here, so it sucks fresh air from the other end of the barn and all the way through and out here. These are big fans. They suck a lot, but they work really great. So all it is, you can see everything is still really clean. We sweep this 3 times to 4 times a week to keep dust control down. Like, we can breathe in here, they can breathe in here. It's, like I said, this is why we like this type of housing system. They're not quite used to me just yet walking through. They're a little fluttery. Plus the camera. Sometimes, if it's just me, they would hardly even move. But since this camera's here, they're not used to it. They're a little upset. But anyways, all I do is I walk up and down. I check each individual house, look at all my babies, make sure they're good, there's no issues. And then, like I said, as they get older, we start spacing them out, and that will be very shortly. But right now, they're still good, because we still need them to, with the body heat and the temperature in that house is perfect. We're just here checking the pea field out. We only got 2.5 inches here, which is just perfect for these. Yeah, we're flowered, got a couple pods coming, so that's gonna be awesome, this rain for them, man, oh man. But we're gonna go check out a neighbor, got about 5 inches last night, and he's only country block from me, which is, I don't know if that'd be a kilometer. I'd have to check it out, but not that far. And he's got about 4 acres underwater. So yes, the Canadian farmer's happy. Most of my fields are looking great. I'm going to do another drive-by, because that neighbor isn't that far from a different field we have, so maybe I'll be going, oh crap, that's too much rain for that field, but we'll check it out. Okay, here we are in the bean field. That's yeah, that's where my pocket is right there. Here's my kneecap, so they're They're pretty tall. So this field we grow, we call them twin rows. So 7.5, 7.5. Leave 7.5, leave 7.5, start planting 7.5. So it's essentially 30s, and you can drive the tractor and sprayer and everything down here without running any beans over it, which is kind of nice. We don't plant all our fields like this. We plant them 50% this year went twins, 50% went solid seed, depending. This also allows air movement. This is a higher fertility field, so you can have potential with mold. That's why we do this, but it works out pretty slick. They bush in really nice, and we find they compete with each other right close to, right, yeah, they compete with each other right here, so they can grow nice and tall and bush out in a hurry. Also, they love the rain, and as we can see, they're just starting to flower as well. So that rain was a savior. I am much happier today. If you talk to my wife, I was a bear. It's important as farmers that we do discuss stress levels, and in the beginning of this video I did say I was super stressed, and I was, and today that's a different story. We'll go check out a couple more fields. I think I'm gonna have some water laying and something. Maybe I won't be as happy, but that's life. This is how we live it here. Everything I do, we try to make money. Stress levels are high a lot of times because there's a lot going through my head, trying to figure out what feed ration we're doing, how are the chickens handling the heat, how are our crops handling the heat, and then we get to winter, how are we handling the cold, which normally is pretty good. The barns stay well, but there's a lot that goes on here and a lot that goes through my head, and some days it's tough, and I'm not gonna really show those tough days, but I'm just gonna tell you that is how it is for farming and for most farmers. And it's important that you guys talk to somebody if you are having problems. All right, so these are solid seed, which means they're planted in 7.5-inch rows all the way. There's no big space, but they're still looking good. They're fully flowered. They still bushed out nice. They're not as tall as the other stuff I was looking at, that the 30-inch space are twin rows, but the reason why we don't do twin rows on this farm, it's sandy. We don't have a lot of problem with mold on this farm. Number two, we like the shade to try to hold that moisture down, and they canopy out quicker. That's why we change that up. Just interesting, different ways of farming. This is what we're doing and why we're doing it. Not quite a kilometer away from my place, and I didn't get this much rain. Holy moly, he's got, that is just water. Wow, man, oh man. You can see that in this field. Whoa. Prime example of why farming can be stressful. I mean, that's unfortunate for him. That's gonna drown that crop out right there. We went from way too dry to way too wet in 12 hours. This is one of our clay farms. We definitely have water between the rows in some spots, in some areas, but the majority of the field it's good. Definitely a well-needed rain though. General consensus, rain is a good thing. Corn's growing, beans are growing, peas growing, my baby chicks are growing. It's a good day. Canadian farmer out. I know it's not that exciting stuff to maybe for you guys to look at crops, but for the other farmers out there, I know you like it. I enjoy checking things out. I like to watch the guys in Michigan, Minnesota. We got a dairy farmer in Saskatchewan. It's just interesting to watch all that kind of stuff. So like and subscribe.